place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Fuck. There we are. Kleeper, Reggie and I. And our little graph ship. Also the first time in space. Besides, we accidentally activated the Mechanoid bug and they follow us. Quickly gather all the resources laying around and get the fuck away from here before they arrive. First landing site, a savannah. Not particularly good or bad, but for the start, good enough. Quickly plan some rice so we don't starve. So, first of all, outside of danger, I can introduce our troop a bit. I am the cook and in a certain way our medic. Reggie and Kleeper are the persons for the job up close. And they are way better in shooting or fighting than me. Reggie has a little bit more in the brain than Kleeper and is socially way better. Especially because Kleeper does not care about other people in the terms of caring about them. But that comes from the guy who is too lazy to clean up after himself. So I am keeping my mouth shut. First task is to expand our ship. These plates from the Mechanoid platform should help us with that. We are also building ourselves a small little dining room. After all, we are not animals. Kleeper wanted to know the name of our graph ship, and I thought Mother would be nice, just like the ship system from Alien. I mean, there are not going to be more space monsters who are going to kill me. Monsters were the theme of the last DLC, anomaly. The kitchen with dining area is finally finished, and we can enjoy freshly cooked meals again, instead of this ration stuff. I mean, it lasts endlessly and fills up, but it doesn't taste really good. After a while, we continued with our rituals. Our ideology is simple. We don't know what we are really believing in, but we know that everyone needs to follow our ideology. During our rituals, we release lanterns, and we have a chance that other people who think the same way as us will join us for free. In this case, Cabrera and Linz joins our cause. But Cabrera is a pacifist and don't want to hurt anybody. But hey, I'm taking any help I can get right now. Shortly after an inquest from the Empire, asking if we could save one of their knights from a rabbit. Yes, a rabbit. I'm not going to comment on that. But hey, I don't say no to free psyling powers. And even got stun, which is one of the best powers in the early game. Since I'm the only one here with social competence, and we definitely need a moral guide around here, I took the role. I can now advise people to make them happier and heal wounds and infections faster with the power of faith. However, that's supposed to work, but hey, I'm not complaining. After a short while, I realized that Cabrera is addicted to Psychite. Another reason to deport her, but hey, as long as she doesn't do anything stupid, she can stay. Through a monument quest, we also got a map that we can read to find interesting places. And Cabrera has her first catonic breakdown, which was expected. Our first real raid. A furry with a gun. Well, I expected it to be a little bit harder, but hey. So my boys and girls provide me with cover fire, and I storm the enemy with my axe.
Hello there.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
In my defense, he hit me straight in the heart.
Let's do this.
Well, that's one way to do it. Slightly annoyed and wrapped up in 500 bandages, I eat my dinner in the evening. I accidentally complained a little too loud about Reggie's grandfather because he noticed that and directly hit me with his weapon, which allowed me to be taken care of again immediately. Just my lucky day, huh? Next attack from the Catan-Teufel. One input with an MP, luckily enough stun powers are OP. And right after that another time. This time 2 raiders, but only with melee weapons. And another 2, even with a shotgun. What the fuck did I do to these people? They attacked me 3 times in a row! God lord! First to killed, sure, Cabrera had to take some hits, but hey, that is the use of a pacifist. Killed 1 more and the rest flees. And just look at how they try to crawl away. No mercy for scum. Besides, we built a biofuel refinery and a lot of generators, because we are going to need a lot of fuel for power and flights. Before we go, a death pool begins. The problem is just that all of the corpses get up again. And well, we didn't bury the corpses, we just carried them away. The plan was initially to quickly dig some graves, but the resurrection process was faster and there was also a heat wave. Thanks Randy, the weather problem was not big enough. Instead of staying longer in this hell, I thought we quickly gather our harvest and fly away from here. Fast. Grab tables, chairs and the kitchen and we will be on our way. A new landing site. A forest, and it is time for the deforestation for our fuel. We are also building a few small bedrooms for everyone to pick up the mood. After completing our spaceship hull, we also built some shelves out of stone. It did take a bit longer to process the stone, but hey, they are fireproof. And believe me, we will need that. I have an idea what is going to happen soon. First rate, of course, it is the Catan-Teufel. What have I done to them? Why do they hate me so much? It didn't matter, this raid will just end like all the others. The second room, and we are working on a new storage area that will be later be expanded into our freezer. But first, a quest from the Empire. Hold 1 prisoner for 5 days, who is paralyzed. Easy peasy. Now we need to build them a 2-block big cell room. I mean, the prisoner won't be able to complain anyway. As compensation, we at least gave him a bed. After the ritual, Joaquin joins us. And I have to decide to grow a little rice here as our food is running low. Cabrera was at this time not well because of her psychic dependency, and well, we have none. So she decided to attack everyone who gets in her way. So much for being a pacifist. But hey, to prevent things from escalating, I ordered everyone to take her down. I know, not the fine English way, but it works. Everyone did that, except Linz, who simply decided to shoot Cabrera with his revolver. A true American. But nothing happened thanks to quick reaction. The last ritual were carried out without Cabrera, and Kumiko joins us as well. Rife, a blind healer, wants to join our colony as well, but he is hiding something, and does not belong to our ideology. Therefore, I thought we should first build him a prison to convert him to our ideology. However, when I had locked him up, I received an explanation for unyielding colonists. But you only get that if the captive is unyielding. Ugh, fuck. Yes, reading is an advantage. Since he won't join our faction anyway, I thought why not let him go. Then I have the fewest problems. But Rife did not like that one bit. So he attacked me. The dual blind man without a weapon against the psionic man with a spacesuit and an axe was going as well as everyone would expect. After the fight, I first healed myself, and then, when he had crawled away back into his prison, I delivered the finishing blow to him, only to discover that Ralph was hiding a metallic aura. Short explanations: these are strong metallic monsters who hide inside of pawns to infect more. When they realize that they have been found or the host dies, they jump out and fight. The only problem is that they tear everything apart that is in close combat with them, and I'm not even 3 centimeters away. Luckily, I can stun and run away really fast. Gathered with the team, this opponent is no problem either, especially if others can tank for me. Through the last performed ritual, we have enough development points to further develop our ideology. First of all, we think we are way better than everyone else. And if you were watching carefully, you know that I have the cannibal trait. And well, I thought to myself, why not allow cannibalism? Fortunately, I'm the only one who has a say in our ideology and stuff. The first ritual with a new ideology, and a child joins. Nothing against haylife, but children have 2 uses in the world: to carry and to clean. And every little bit of damage kills them instantly. But he is a genie and a wimp, which results him being downed instantly even if he scratches his little toe. But 10 craftsmanship with passion is busted, so welcome. To increase food production, I also built 2 more stoves, which will later be moved to a proper kitchen, because since the last update there was a 20% work penalty for all the production buildings if they are not in their designated rooms or areas. To be able to power these, even more generators were built. After the kitchen was completed, work also began on the dining room, especially since we are now a lot more people than the small table is becoming. A bit too little. Now that the dining room is also finished, I slowly realized that the shuttle is waiting at the doorstep, so we can finally deliver this prisoner. Besides, if we are redesigning our ship anyway, we also need a room for research. And let's illuminate the workplace after all. We produce our highly explosive fuel for power and transport in a complete darkness. The fact that nothing has happened yet is almost a miracle. It's slowly time to take off again. So let's quickly gather the beds and get out of here. Next area, grassland. An area with a lot of fertile land, barely any trees and hardly any rain. To take the advantage of this region, I thought, why not create a large field where rice, fabric and heel root are grown. Apparently the scenery was so beautiful that Kumiko and Klipa fell in love. I mean, there are 2 ponds where the mood is constantly high. Unless something tragic happens, but how likely is that? The first attack and there are man-eating crows. At least not the Katan-Teufel. But holy crap, they are fast. Still, they are just crows, so no big problem. I have to say, the new flight animations of the animals are really nice and make the game feel much more alive. But then it happens. A dry thunderstorm with lightning strikes and fire. Okay, pause, crisis meeting. The lightning struck right next to our healing root. Attempt number 1. Extinguish the fire. Many more lightning strikes followed, and after a few minutes, a large part of the map was on fire. Okay, different plan. We quickly built a stone wall to protect the other 2 fields. Holy inferno, half of the map is just fire, and my FPS has dropped by at least 20. But then, when the fire was just happened to burn our next fields and were in front of them, rain came. Randy, I have never been so happy to see rain. Days of work could have burned down in just a few in-game hours. And look at this burning crater. Fire is really a huge threat in the grasslands. Luckily, we're not building out of wood here. After a while, I also stopped building the wall of the planting areas because it simply takes too much time. To be honest, the fields were a bit too large anyway, which means we could never fully plant them. We also did not plant here root a second time because it would take too long. Besides, the mechs are coming anyway. All of my pawns are extremely unhappy, so I decided to build some rooms. I know I built them out of wood, but how high are the chances that fire strikes again? And there it is, the first tantrum where someone wants to blow 150 fuel tanks. Of course it's Cabrera. I mean, to hurt others, no, that's against the moral principles of a pacifist. But blow up explosive where several people can die instantly, that's perfectly fine. Fortunately, we were able to stop her before something happened. Thanks to our first cloth harvest, we can finally make good clothes and don't have to run with tattered clothing. Except children. The material is too good for me to produce extra children clothing, especially when the child dies and we can no longer use the clothes. Red from the Bund, der Kuckuck, with Molotovs. I didn't like it when the fire was created through random lightning. Now, giving the opponent the chance to start fire everywhere they want. We have a big problem. Luckily, they have to prepare, which allows us to shoot them for like 5 hours straight without them noticing us. After fire danger was eliminated, we moved in closer to shoot the rest. Easy. The next ritual, and well, we get another child. But hey, you can guess in the comments which of the two will die first, or if they make it to adulthood. My guess is that Chef will die first. Luckily, the last ritual, another pawn joins, even with blue hair. But don't worry, we are not judging by hair color. We are only judging you on base of your race and ideology. So everything is fine. 3 man-eating bears try to attack us, but who cares, they are way too easy peasy. Apparently, this simple fight was enough for Cabrera and Joaquin to fall in love. At least I don't have to deal with Cabrera's bad mood again. Next, we will be visited by our family, in the form of a raid from the South now. The annoying thing is that they land everywhere, instead of just one spot. After some slicing, I noticed that one of them has a firebolt thrower. Oh yes, and our air conditioner is set on fire. I love my life. Of course, I also lose the 1v1 close combat, while the other one has only a pistol. Somehow, I got flashbacks. But a few shots later and everything is sorted out. And the fire had not spread enough yet, allowing us to extinguish it very easily. Now quickly gather all the items together and take down the buildings because the mechs are coming in a few hours. Next landing site, in Grassland again, but we have a task here. We need to hack all of the bunker doors to find the grav core to make our ship bigger. Fortunately, we can set the doors to be automatically hacked, even if the system sometimes kicks us out, so we can't continue our hacking. Sensor Mechanoids, not deadly but annoying, because it causes a lot of pain. We hear screams, which means side stealers are not far away. Quickly gather everyone, and there they are. Fortunately, they are relatively weak. And there is a first bunker open. We have normal doors and some that we need to hack. I take the normal doors so I don't have to wait. It makes sense that insects live down here. But even 2 mega spiders are not a problem. Next room, and this time with a swarm trap. Little robot drones which stun spawns. But with our numbers, it's not a problem. And in the box were 8 glitter medicine. Not bad. Next room, and there a hunter trap. They are activated when you enter the room. But with a few tricks, that's no problem either. There's also a terminal in the room, but we're all too stupid to use it. That shows the intellectual level of our pawns quite well. And when they can't even hack a terminal this easily. So, what it will do, we don't know. It will remain a mystery. The following rooms are not so interesting, but at least something to eat. But that's it for today. My people are getting hungry and tired. We'll continue tomorrow. Back downstairs, Chef falls over because he has food poisoning. What did I tell you about children in RimWorld? They are just not very helpful. So he was carried back upstairs to his bed. Finally, we can continue. And in the next room, there was a grave core. However, we loot all the bunkers completely empty anyway. That's it for the first bunker. Before we head to the second bunker, Rive wants to join us. He may not share our ideology, but his skills are busted, so welcome. Now, it's time for the second bunker. After many empty rooms, at least we found a reinforced barrel. In case we need a mortar anytime soon, we don't need to buy it from the merchants. A swarm trap later, and we find a biomutation lance that can turn anything and anyone into a flesh monster. Very helpful later. And that's it. Otherwise, just empty rooms, some food. Hey, Chef has grown up. He is finally a full member of our society. Just ignore that I bet on your death before. Okay, buddy? Everything is fine. Third bunker. The first turret we can find down here. It is even better than the ones we can build. But with a good old Soviet tactic, having more bodies than enemy have bullets, we will overcome this obstacle easily. Fortunately, the explosive trap in the corner has been ignoring us the whole time, allowing us to defuse it quite well. But otherwise, there were not much to find here. Since we have nothing else to do, we will fly through. Upon arriving at the factory, we will find out what's in it in the next episode. So if you don't want to miss that, don't forget to leave the video a like, subscribe and activate the bell, and we will see us next time.